Hello, this screencast is to give some instructions for the Appeasing Hitler Appeasement Personality Test assignment assigned this week for asynchronous work in world history. Here's the worksheet that you've seen earlier in class with some of the basic instructions up at the top, numbers 1 through 6. What I'm going to do here in this video is detail again quickly each one of those instructions and go over all of the arguments that you will have sorted out and summarized and help you color code them so that you can move on with the activity. So once again, once you read the arguments from the list of 16 arguments at the left, you're going to cross out 7 of them. You can go ahead and use the strike-through formatting. Control-Shift-X will get you a strike-through formatting of any selected text. So you'll knock off 7 arguments and you'll be left with 9. Of the remaining 9 arguments, you know that you need to summarize them in as few words as possible and put them in descending order in the boxes in this column that says Summarize, Order, and Color Code. So you'll summarize them and you'll put the most convincing argument up here at the top, the second most convincing argument, the third most convincing argument, and so on, and so on, and so on, until you're at the 9th most convincing argument. So here's where the color coding part comes in. I'm going to have you pause this video right now. So pause the video and turn it back on when you have ordered and summarized in this middle column. Now that you're back from having ordered and summarized all of the arguments, the remaining 9 arguments in the middle column, let's talk color coding. Choose any hot color or cool color. You're going to want one of each, a hot color and a cool color. Give your hot color the confront. So make your hot color confront. Let me see if I can use my little highlighter here. So we'll go red for confront, and for appease, how about blue? So we got red and blue. All right. Now let's go through all of these arguments to find out whether they're appeasement arguments or confront arguments. The British people do not want another war. That is an appeasement argument. Germany could be an ally to stop the spread of communism from Russia. We don't want to antagonize Germany, we want to give them what they want because they'll help us against the communists. Another appeasement argument. Millions could die if war breaks out. Many others will be injured. Though millions less perhaps would have died had war broken out early and Hitler been confronted. No, this is an argument for appeasement. Accepting Hitler's demands might buy us more time to rearm. Another appeasement argument. This one, though, assumes that Hitler will have to be confronted at some point, but is essentially saying, we're not ready now. We will lose the support of the Czech army, one of the best in Europe. Remember, the question is whether to give Czechoslovakia or part of Czechoslovakia, the Sudetenland, to Hitler and the Nazis. This is an argument to confront and stop them from taking the Sudetenland, to maintain the support of the Czech army to stop Germany. Most other countries are not willing to join us in a war against Germany. If we do it, we'll be going it alone. So let's not do it. That's an appeasement argument. Hitler will continue to make more demands if we continue to give in. Just like the bully that comes back again and again for your lunch money, he should be stopped. That's a confront argument. Negotiations are a waste of time. We should be preparing for war. Another confront argument. Hitler is a bully who won't be satisfied with the Sudetenland. Very similar to the argument above, but perhaps that argument resonates with you enough for it to be in there twice. Another confront argument. Hitler deliberately broke the Treaty of Versailles. He cannot be trusted. That is another confront argument saying, hey, he says he's going to stop making demands, but we don't believe him. We should not interfere. Let Europe sort out its own problems. You might be a little confused by that, thinking, well, Britain is in Europe, but they have a little sliver of ocean in between themselves and the rest of the continent of Europe. So oftentimes British people feel somewhat apart from some of the concerns of the mainland Europeans. That is an appeasement argument. Lets Europe sort out its own problems. The Germans in the Sudetenland do not need Hitler's protection. That is a confront argument. What it's trying to do is undermine Hitler's talking point, saying that the Germans needed to step in to protect the Sudetenland German-speaking people. We will seem weak if we keep accepting Hitler's demands. Again, that's a confront argument about standing up to the bully and putting the bully in his place. Another war will cost millions. We'll go into debt. We can't afford that right now. It's the Great Depression. That's an appeasement argument. We should avoid war with Germany at all costs. Their army is very powerful. Another appeasement argument. And finally, any deal with Hitler will anger the communists in Russia. If that's something that you're concerned about, then you would want to confront Hitler so as to not anger the communists. Now, what you're going to do is color code your arguments based upon which of these you used. So if you used this argument as your number 1, then you would color code the number 1 spot, and then you're going to give it a score. So for example, if you had put a appeasement argument there, and here, notice that I'm highlighting or I'm coloring in these cells, but I have not written anything. You will have written text as a summary in each one of those cells. I'm leaving them blank for now because I'm just doing this as a quick modeling. In this case, if you had an appeasement argument at the top, followed by 2 confront arguments, followed by 3 appeasement arguments, followed by 3 more confront arguments, you had score like this. So your appeasement score would be 9 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. So 9 plus 5 is 14, plus 5 plus 5 is 24. And your confront score would be 7 plus 7, that's 14, plus 3 plus 3, that's 20, plus 1 is 21. I know I did the math correctly because 24 and 21 add up to 45. Now all that's left is the 2 questions at the bottom. If this was the accurate result for me after thoughtfully filling it out, I would say, what? I would have appeased Hitler? No, say it's not so. So what's my reaction to my score? It might have to do with the fact that hindsight's 2020. Looking back, I know Hitler should have been confronted, but if I was alive at that time, it wouldn't have been such an easy decision for me. Why was Hitler appeased in 1938? Use the same kind of idea about the uncertainness of the future. You might also want to pull in some of the ideas that we discussed previously about the trauma of World War I and many people, countries, not wanting to go through that same trauma again. Thanks for watching. Feel free to watch it back. If any of the instructions were confusing to you in any way, I'll be in for office hours on both Tuesday and Wednesday of this week before this activity is due if you require any further clarification. Thanks very much. Bye for now.